And I think I had just done a gig in DC, and I was like, "Yo, are you in town tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm coming back in town tomorrow." So it's pouring rain. I'm taking the bus up, right? I don't know who this rehearsal is for, right? He just told me to be here at a certain time. It's pouring outside. So I'm running to this rehearsal spot because I can't wait out. I'm not going to wait outside for a cab because the cabs are just flying by right now. And so I show up to rehearsal soaking wet. I go to the spot, and they're like, I'm supposed to be here for a rehearsal at from so to so on. And then they're like, oh yeah, well, are you with Usher or are you with Lauryn Hill? I was like, either one is good with me. But it ended up being with ended up being with Lauryn Hill. And that was the start of it. And of course, we were in rehearsal. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have any music. We didn't like no idea what we were doing there, and nobody. She wasn't there for that rehearsal, and we were playing the next day at the Apollo Theater. And this is for the Netflix special on Nina Simone. This is where we were filming that. I think Jasmine Sullivan was on it, and I mean a bunch of great acts.
It was a Netflix special.
It was
Nina Simone. Okay.
Nina Simone, and they'll show clips of this at the end of the documentary. But she did the soundtrack for it, so we were doing a bunch of Nina Simone covers. We were doing "Feeling Good," which she ended up doing a bunch. We ended doing like Nikita Pie, the color of my true, I forget what it's called, of the color of my true love skin. So we did a bunch of Nina Simone tunes, and that was my introduction, and that started a 3.5 year run with Lauryn Hill. And in that experience, I ended up touring with Nas as well because they did a double bill. So we ended up backing up Nas as well during that period, and ended up,
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
During the one-offs. How much time do you get to learn the material?
Sometimes it's a rehearsal and then a show. You know what I mean? One rehearsal, one show.
And then you're on. I mean, you just...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so...
Very little preparation.
Continue on. You're going to get your money's worth with him, okay?
Right.
Don't worry, this is a professional over here, people.
Well,
okay.
that's a part of it now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to learn music quickly and then go on the big stage and not freeze. You know what I mean? There are times you can get on a big stage and you can forget where you are. It's actually not uncommon. So a part of the profession is to be able to perform when you're on those stages, big or small. But when you're playing in front of 80,000, it feels a little bit different. You know what I mean? So being able to learn music on the spot and then go within a couple of hours and perform it. You know what I mean? Of course, television special, which we did a bunch of. And you have to be on. It's a part of the game.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So there were a bunch of good experiences in that good learning experiences, I'll say.
Yeah, because you and Lauryn, not to cut you off, but you.
No.
Well, then this manifested a tour.
For sure.
I mean, you were with her for a while.
I was. We did. We did a bunch of dates. We did like 3 official tours, which lasted 3.5 years. We did shows like Austin City Limits, which you can see online. We did Charlie Rouse. We did Black Girls Rock. We did, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We did a bunch. And it's like it was instant. Once you're in that, it's like everything comes. At the same time.
But you were prepared. See, that's
For sure.
the thing. You were prepared. Everything was preparing you.
Without a doubt. Didn't even
know. For your
know.
blessings. A lot of times preparation is key.
Right. Didn't even know. Like,
no, you won't know. But you're in it.
Right.
And you walked it. Right. But you manifested it.
For sure.
You were prepared. So you were focused.
Oh,
you have a laser sharp focus from what I know.
Well, I mean, focus hasn't been a problem for me. That hasn't been, thankfully. But I work,
Emotions is another thing, right?
there you go. It
But
is,
that's your nature, man. So don't
you
worry
know,
about that.
it is, but it's all a process. There's some things that we're stronger in than others, and then the
Yeah.
things that we're not as strong in, that's directly where we go to improve. That's the same way I address like my practice sessions. I can play the stuff that I know and I'm good at, but I need to go directly at my weaknesses so I can make steady progress. You know, so I mean, it's been a good trip thus far, and that was with Lauren. That was one of the most impactful that I had because I was thrown into it. Um, just like that. I was, you sometimes you're like, man, when is something gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like I'm doing all this work. When is something gonna give? And then in an instant, you have things that are lined up already for you. It's like, yeah, I've never been here. Now I'm going. Never been here. Like, are you available Saturday to go to Australia? I'm like, yeah, I might be.
Okay.
you know, I'd have the
Let me
same.
check. Look, let me check
Yeah,
my calendar.
you know,
Doing good. Well, you packing the bag.
for
You
sure.
know?
And it was during that time that I was able to save up money so I could record my first project, which I knew playing for other people is always great, and I always want to be able to do it. But I needed to be able to facilitate my own thing, to be able to have my own self-expression with my own band, with my own music. So during that time, I was like, I got it now. Let's go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? And I'm extremely glad that I did, because one, I know from other people's experiences, no gig is forever. You know what I mean? It never lasts forever, and you can't count on it lasting forever. The only thing that you can count on is yourself and what you're willing to do for yourself in that capacity to keep things going for yourself. And just like that, it ended. You know what I mean? At least in that capacity. Now I
Okay.
have worked with the Fuji since, you know what I mean? But that part after 3.5 years ended, you know what I mean, abruptly, you know.
Mm.
Um